Yes, guys, welcome back to KMV, the number one Chelsea fan. Chelsea just got defeated by Manchester City 4-2, and I'm very sure most of you did not stay up that late to watch that game. Well, I watched that game till the final whistle, and I'm here to give you guys the detailed explanation of what happened, what went wrong, and what actually went right. But before we go into the positive and the negative side of that game, let me update you guys first on Conor Gallagher. According to Fabrizio Romano, while watching that game 3 a.m. in the morning, Fabrizio Romano popped up something very interesting on Conor Gallagher, and I'm pretty sure most of you won't like to miss out this update. But before I drop Conor Gallagher's update, please don't forget to click that subscription button. Don't forget to drop your opinions and your corrections in the comment section, and most importantly, please click that follow button because I am number one Chelsea fan. Yes, Fabrizio Romano said Conor Gallagher and Atletico Madrid had a positive discussion last night. Like, Conor Gallagher is now considering that Atletico Madrid option. Like, him fit join Atletico Madrid, according to Fabrizio Romano. Now, I'm not saying Gallagher has made a decision because Atletico Madrid gave Chelsea a deadline from now until Monday, like from I think Friday till Monday, for Conor Gallagher to decide and for Chelsea to provide them with a decision if Gallagher will join them or not. And now Fabrizio just said Gallagher had a positive discussion with Atletico Madrid. So that deal, it can happen. And I'm not saying it will happen, but it can happen. Let's just watch and see whether or not Gallagher will join Atletico Madrid. Now, let's talk about Chelsea 2, Manchester City 4. To be honest with you guys, that was not a bad game. Like, Chelsea did well. I will not come out to be like Enzo Maresca out this, we were shit, we were this. No. Chelsea did well to an extent. It was a game of learning. Like, I saw Chelsea learning their tactics. I saw Chelsea struggling to adapt to Enzo Maresca's style of play. I saw the players struggling to understand themselves. I saw the players struggling to communicate within themselves. But let's be honest about this Chelsea team. We have a lot of things to do. I have been saying this thing before, that we have been more focused on the future rather than the present. If you start with Chelsea team, then we need to start first from the defense line. We go to the midfield, the wingers and the striker. But let me start first from that striking position. You know, Christopher Nkunku is a brilliant player. Like, this guy is versatile. He is very aggressive, very fast, very creative. He can play as a winger. He can play as a striker. He can play as an attacking midfielder. But Nkunku is not a striker. That is not his rightful position. Nkunku can't play as a striker. I think Nkunku is more better when he plays deep, like when he plays 10. Believing there is another striker in front of him who he can maybe make a pass to him, then Nkunku will be very creative. Just look at that second half performance from Nkunku. He was very good. He came like he was pressing, and at the same time, he made really good chances for McGew, even though McGew did not converted them, but they were really good chances. But when you wind back to that first half performance, Nkunku played as a false nine, and he, like, Nkunku, you just look at him and you see for yourself that this guy is not playing in his rightful position. I don't think it's good for Nkunku to play out of that his particular 10, that particular position where him don't they play. Let Enzo Maresca watch this game that we just played against Manchester City. It was a tough opponent. City are tough, but still, we played against a B team City. 14 of their first team players were absent. We played against their B team, and yet they were able to do what they did against Chelsea. Even though, on the other hand, Chelsea were not that bad. But due to some individual mistakes, we had to concede 4 goals. Now, leaving Christopher Nkunku, moving on to that midfield, how can you play Jules Brihol as a winger when we have enough wingers? Like, I don't even understand. I don't understand. You know, Enzo Maresca is a possession kind of coach, but I will be honest with you guys, we can't play possession without getting result. It's useless. You can't make 700 passes in a single game and you are unable to score goals. It's useless. You can't get 3 points without scoring goals. You get? And Jules Brihol only played from that first half as a winger. Can you imagine? Why? We had Mudryk on the pitch, who honestly, I think Mudryk is a failed experiment. Mudryk has to be a failed experiment. There is nothing left for Mudryk to show us again. This guy is not even improving. For how many seasons he has been playing, no improvement in Mudryk. I don't want to talk down on Chelsea players, but when they are not good, I will speak out the truth. Mudryk wasn't good, not at all. He did not even try. Just look at Madueke when he came on. He showed us what a winger should be doing. He did really well, and even in his previous game, he did really well. He was creative. He made really good dribbles. He made really good runs. He even created a chance for Raheem Sterling to score the first goal that Chelsea scored. It was an assist from Madueke. How many minutes was he on the pitch before making such assist? Even though they played different positions on the pitch with Mudryk, but still, Mudryk, no creativity, no passes from him. He needs to do better. Like, I don't see Mudryk even becoming a regular starter under Enzo Maresca. There is no chance. There is no chance, because Stanley, on the other hand, came on and did what he did not do even while playing from the first half. Stanley did brilliantly well. Even though I will not say he did perfect, because now him supposed they show this young lad waiting to they do on the pitch. It's Stanley who is supposed to lead these guys. But I will give him accolade for what he did. He played well, he scored a goal, he created some chances, he pressed, he defended, like he tackled. So for sure, I will give him credit for his performance against City last night. Now, moving back to that defense, I'm going to talk about that midfield again. I'm going to talk about those players who Enzo Maresca is struggling to make them play inverted position, like play out of position. We are going to talk about that detailing. But looking at that defense, brother, see, as a fan of Chelsea, that defense has to be the worst defense I have ever watched Chelsea using or play against any team. I thought when we had Gusto injured, James injured, Chilwell injured, and we had to use Alfie Gilchrist, we had to use Badeshield, Disasi at that back. I thought that back had to be or had to go down as Chelsea's worst defense ever. But tonight, I just saw something more worse. Like, I don't even understand. I don't know how I can classify how poor we were defensively. Tosin, yes, I understand he is a new Chelsea player. He's struggling to understand his teammate, but two big mistakes from him, they led to Chelsea's first two goals. And Chelsea conceded first goal inside 4 minutes. 4 minutes 53, 4 minutes 17 seconds. Chelsea conceded the second. The same happened during the second half. Chelsea conceded from the 50th minute, 50 minute 56 seconds. Chelsea conceded the fourth. Can you imagine? Defensive errors, individual errors, bad passes. Well, I believe these guys will learn from their individual mistakes. Now, let me quickly say something to Enzo Maresca. You know, as a coach, I believe this is the time for you to try new things. I believe every coach out there, most especially a Chelsea coach who just came from championship to coach these players who we just bought, newly bought, like we still struggle to gather a team. I believe as a coach in such situation, you would like to try new things, to see the limits, to see the abilities of your players, which is good. But please, Enzo Maresca, please do not play Chelsea players out of position. Do not play Chelsea players out of position. Don't play any invented midfielder, invented winger, invented left back. Please, we have more than enough left backs. We have more than enough midfielders. Last night, we had almost 4 midfielders on the pitch, and Jules Brehol had to play as a winger, even while we had a winger on the bench. It wasn't making any sense. And if you even check, most of those players who are playing as invented midfield, invented left back, they are not doing well, except for a few. The rest are not performing up to standard, which means they are not at that level to start playing out of their natural position. For example, Nkunku, he is not a 9. Nkunku na 10, not 9. Play him as a 10 and you will see the best out from him. And if Mark Gu started that game from the first half, I don't think it would have been the same result we got. But still, I will not blame the coach. I will not blame the players. Like I earlier said, it was a game of learning. We need to work more on our defense. We need to work even more harder on our wingers. And talking about that midfield, we have to be creative. For the game, it was a good game, honestly, even though the result wasn't a good result. But generally, I think we did well. We played really calm, confidently, good passes, creativity from individual players like Madueke, Raheem Stanley, Romeo Lavia. I mean, we were good. But I would love to know your opinions. I would love to know your thoughts on that game. Chelsea 2, Manchester City 4. And please don't forget to share this video. Click that follow button because I am #1 Chelsea fan.